now that we're in the play area, you'll see that we are on the course selection page. For many of you that have been with us for more than a few years, we've changed up the default options as far as being able to search for courses, as we have now over 94 different courses that we have in our current library, and we are looking to expand more quarterly or year after year, adding new courses from there. So currently our course filter setting is set at the recommended courses. So these are our newest courses along with some of our most popular and most played courses throughout the country and the world on our AG simulators. To find different filters for how to find a different golf course, go ahead and hit the course filter area, and you have plenty of options to search for the course that you're looking to play. You have the ability to search by name, play at courses that are used on the professional circuit, take a look at every course that we have, or find it based on region of the world or the US. For this example, we'll go ahead and just select a course that's local here to me in Denver called Colorado Golf Club. From there, once we've selected the course, we won't be changing any of the options up top, such as scoring, holes, weather, pin, or course list. So what we do once we select the course is we'll want to make sure that our members are currently logged in and have the correct tee placement for what they would like to play. For me, I'm a little bit longer of a hitter, especially out here at altitude, so I like to play our championship tees. I'm not quite at the pro level tees yet, but we're getting there. Greg is going to go ahead and play from the blue tees, which is a step up from the gold tees where I'm at, so he'll be a little bit closer up on some of these holes. Once we've confirmed that we have all of our members in the queue and that they're logged in or just logged in as offline and have the correct tee, we'll go ahead and hit OK. And then we'll go into the setup area. This is going to be where you want to customize everything about the round to make this more fun and more efficient for your clients and end users. We've already selected Colorado Golf Club as our course. So next is going to be selecting how the course is going to play. We have options for pin placements from novice all the way up to intermediate and advanced. I will tell you, advanced is like playing on a PGA Tour level course, so be careful there. Once we select the pin, we can select the weather conditions, such as the wind direction, the wind speed, the ground conditions, the sky conditions, the time of day, and the green speed as far as the green stimp is concerned. For green stimp, we go all the way down to 8 and all the way up to 14. So you can put on shag carpets or glass that's got a layer of ice on top of it, whatever you prefer. Once we've got our settings in place, you'll also have the ability to choose the holes that you want to play. You have the option to play all 18 as is selected right now. You can also toggle the button to choose just the front 9, just the back 9, or customize by selecting any holes that you want, be it all odd holes, all even holes, whatever it might be. You have the option to choose those holes, and they'll play in numeric order from the first hole all the way to the last hole as you choose them. For this example, we'll pretend we're playing 18 holes, and you'll be good to go from there. Down below, you also have the option to take a look at what those holes and distances are going to look like in case you want to change your mind about what tee placement you're going to play. And it gives you also the rating and the slope for each of these tee sets as well. Moving on to the next screen, we have our scoring page. So now that we've set up how the course is going to play, we're going to set up how the members are going to play. So with 2 or more people, there are plenty of options for game modes at this moment. We have stroke play. We have a closest to the pin tour, which basically takes the players on a tour of all of the par 3s throughout the course. Whoever hits closer to the hole gets less points, and the fewest cumulative total points at the end of the round will win that competition. Long drive is similar. This will take the longest and straightest of the par 4s and par 5s. The longer and straighter you hit into the fairway, the more points you'll get. The more points you have at the end of the round, the better your chances of winning. From there, you also have the ability to play match play, pitting one person against the other, or 2 people against 2 other people against 1 person, however you decide to set it up. You can also see that by selecting the match play option, you have some wagering options to keep track of as well, whether or not you're going to use foursomes, whether or not you're going to use the Nassau betting system, and then the front 9, back 9, and all 18 that can be an area where you basically say, how many points do I get for winning that front nine? How many points do I get for the back? And how many for 18? We do not currently collect cash for this. This is just mainly a way to keep track and let you guys all do the wagering on the side and have fun with that as you will. From there, we also have options for scramble mode, basically allowing both players to either be on the same team, or if there's more than 2 players, having multiple players on different teams and playing through a regular scramble format all the way through 18 holes of that course. And lastly, we have a modified Stableford, where you can choose the point totals of any of those particular score designations. I've yet to see a triple eagle anywhere in real life, so maybe make that 100 points. But these are adjusted to be somewhat similar to the ratings for the American Century Celebrity Golf Championship held in Lake Tahoe every year. It's a very fun format to give a shot to, and definitely recommend it if you haven't tried it yet. For now, we'll assume that we're going to play stroke play. You also have the option to go through and select handicaps. There's 2 different settings. Absolute handicaps are going to be the handicap that you have against the card. So once we select absolute handicap, you'll also see a percentage and course rating and slope. Basically what this will do is it will take the percentage of your handicap based on the difficulty of the course as rated by the course rating and slope, and give you the amount of strokes that it deems necessary. Me being a 3 handicap and leaving the settings as is, going to play Pebble Beach, actually gives me 8 strokes against the card, just based on how completely difficult Pebble Beach can be from the tees that I'm playing. So just a heads up, it won't always be 3 strokes taken off the scorecard. It will adjust based on the difficulty of the course rating and that slope, as long as you have that setting set to yes. From here, the other option is relative. You'll see that you still have the percentage and then course rating and slope options still available. But basically the difference here is that you'll have the highest handicap pitted against the lowest handicap. So in this case, where I'm a 3 handicap, we see that Greg currently has a 0 handicap listed. It would use the same calculations with the 100% and course rating and slope option to give me a certain amount of strokes against Greg, who is a scratch 0 golfer. So I would get, essentially, if we played Pebble Beach, I ideally would get 8 shots, Greg would get none. From there, we have the settings that are going to matter the most to the majority of your clients. Starting from the top, you can see we still have that default option for the gimme range set at 3 feet. You have the ability to turn the gimme range off, which would allow the player to putt out into the hole on every hole. And then there's options of 3, 6, 9, and 12 feet. As long as the ball lands within the chosen area, within the radius of the chosen area, you'll get an automatic 1-stroke gimme. But in order for that to work, you need to ensure that the auto gimme option is set to at least 1-stroke gimme. If that is set to off, it will make the player putt out from whatever distance they are, even if they are inside the gimme range of 6 feet, 9 feet, or 12 feet. So make sure that if you have a gimme option set, you select the auto gimme option that is applicable to you. From there, you have the options for 2 and 3-stroke auto gimmes. A 2-stroke auto gimme is going to give you 2 shots if you land within 60 feet of the hole on the green. 3-stroke is going to be a 3-stroke gimme if you land on the green outside of 60 feet. Now, if you have both of these set up, but you have, let's say, your gimme option set to 12 feet, but you want to have a 2-stroke auto gimme, you might ask, I don't think I should have to have a 2-stroke gimme if I hit it within 12 feet. Good news for you, you won't. If you hit the green with a 2-stroke auto gimme and you're within the 12-foot radius, the 9-foot radius, 6 foot, so on, it will give you a 1-stroke auto gimme. If you're outside of that initial range but inside 60 feet, it'll be 2 strokes. Same thing for 3 strokes. You hit it within 60 feet, it'll give you 2 strokes. You hit it within 12 feet, it'll give you 1 stroke. If you're outside of 60 feet but still on the green, it'll be 3 strokes. From there, we have the option to set up mulligans. There are two options, yes or no. We like to have the option for the client to have mulligans on because everybody needs a breakfast ball. Everybody needs a practice shot. You have the ability to basically take a mulligan immediately before the post-shot menu comes up, or when the post-shot menu comes up, you can hit the mulligan as well. After it goes away, there's an option that you can go to in the settings to select a mulligan, to take the mulligan on that last shot again, and go from there. From there, auto drop is another important setting to take a look at. If you're looking to keep things moving and going quickly, generally we recommend switching auto drop to on. And what that will do is if a player hits into a hazard that's red or yellow stake, it'll automatically drop at what the system deems as the nearest point of relief. I prefer to leave this option off because that allows me to take stroke and distance, and rather than being on a 40% grade down a hill into the pond, I can be on flat ground in the rough or the fairway, directly on that line back from where the ball entered the hazard. So it's up to you how you'd like to have your clients do this, but generally the fastest and most efficient way is to have it set to yes. Auto concede is another option that we look into to provide to our indoor golf center clients, mainly just because not everybody is a scratch golfer. Not everybody has the ability to shoot par or bogey or double bogey golf. And sometimes they just want to be there to hang out, have a good time, and be with their friends. So rather than make it a miserable experience where somebody's got a 27 on the road hole at St. Andrews because of those pot bunkers, we can set the auto concede to basically pick the ball up after a certain amount of strokes have been taken on the hole. Our most popular is generally double par, allowing for 6 shots on a par 3, 8 on a par 4, and 10 on a par 5. If you're taking more than that, basically what the system will do is pick up your ball, mark the max number with an X, move on to the next hole, and continue playing from there. So now that we have all of these options in place, we'll go ahead right into the golf course, and I'll show a couple more options as well. So from here, there are a few different options that I like to point out first and foremost, and we'll generally start at the top left corner of the screen. So working our way over from the top left corner, we have a clock icon. Basically what that is it will ask you for your admin password, and then you'll go ahead and enter the time that you want to have for that particular reservation. Now this is something that you may recognize from setup within our Clubhouse software, where you can go in, add people to a queue, send that tee time directly over to the sim, and add the allotted time for their requested tee time. So in this case, if we are at an indoor golf center and somebody wants to play for 2 hours, we go ahead and set the timer at 2 hours, and you'll see that timer start to tick away in the top left corner. Next to that icon, you'll have the option to turn the interface off and back on again. So clicking that I with the slash through it will remove the interface so you have a clean look at the screen and the hole that you're playing. In order to get that back, go ahead and tap anywhere on the screen and you'll get that interface right back for you. From there, you have the option to click on the helicopter, which will give you a full flyby of the hole and show you where all the danger is, where the places that you want to miss or don't want to miss, and gives you a quick idea of exactly what it looks like past the blind spot that you can see here on this tee box. From there, the question mark we have is our help page. So that will pull up a PDF of wherever you are in the system and give you the instruction manual for that particular area. So since we are on the golf course, we are in the round play area. This PDF will go through the entire 62-page user manual that shows how to go through and get set up on a round, as well as options within the round from there. That little looped arrow next to the question mark is going to bring you back to the previous screen, which is the scoring menu, and that will allow you to make changes to any of the settings that we had put in place. Next to that is the home button, which will bring you back to the main menu of the home simulator screen. And from there, before we get into the bottom options, one thing I like to make sure that I show everybody is this icon over here that shows a map of the hole with the grid distance showing where the landing area is. Simply clicking on that image will blow it up so that you can actually see where that aim point is pointing you towards. And coming down here to the menu item, you have the ability to aim your shot right or left. So if you know you hit a big old slice, aim straight at those trees and then go ahead and give it a rip. If you don't like where you've aimed, you can go ahead and hit reset. And then once you have reset it, go ahead and hit accept. In any case, whenever you change direction, hit accept. It'll hold that place for you, and then you hit straight towards the center of that screen and you'll be good to go. In the options area, some of the items that I like to make sure that we bring up, sometimes you may forget, hey, I'm a lefty, I'm not a righty, we didn't set it up in the member settings area. Well, you can go in here and change the dexterity of that player and switch it from right to left-handed by selecting that option. You also have the ability to go through and skip members, remove members, and add members into the course. You might skip somebody because they have to take a phone call, go to the bathroom, go grab a drink from the bar, whatever it might be. It'll skip that person for that particular turn, and then when they come back, they'll be able to go ahead and play their shot from where they last were. Let's say there's an emergency or somebody double booked a meeting and they have to leave. You go ahead and remove that member so you're not having to play their shots for them or continuously skip them all the way through. And then lastly, let's say there was a miscommunication, they don't have to go to that meeting anymore. You can add that player back in and it will add them into that hole where you directly are and go from there. Moving on, in the shot area, this is a really nice place to go through and add some insight as to what you can do for each particular shot. So on this instance right here for this hole, we can't see where the flag is, but if we want to know where that flag is, we'll go ahead and hit the show flag. And what the system will do is it'll pull that flag straight up to you on a straight line and then go straight back to where it's placed on the green. This kind of gives you an idea if you're behind a bush, in the trees, you're not sure if you're aiming in the right direction. This will allow you to see exactly where you need to go. You also have the ability to see where the ball is at any time. And I like to show this kind of to give props to our developers and our digital rendering partners to basically show exactly what you can see from any point of the golf course. So in places where you have a blind tee shot, you can adjust the height and you can go through and see exactly where that ball is going to fly before you hit it. You also have the availability to look all the way around in a 360-degree view to show everything from the clubhouse of the golf course to the parking lot to surrounding areas. You also can adjust the pitch to look up and down. So if you're behind one of those bushes, you can look straight down and see, oh, there's my golf ball right there. I'm not behind anything. I can go ahead and hit a regular shot and be good to go. Again, same thing applies here as the aim point. If you want to reset to where you originally started from, go ahead and hit reset and then accept. And then lastly, in the shot options area, ball trail and ball tracker, these are generally more important on the driving range, whereas the ball trail is just going to add kind of a shadow behind the ball instead of like an actual top tracer line like you see on the driving range. And the ball tracker is going to add a small white triangle above the ball so you can see it flying throughout the air if you use, let's say, the static camera and you're not exactly sure where the ball is going to go. Let's say you hit a great shot, you get a hole-in-one, you hole out for eagle from the fairway, and you want to save that shot to brag to your friends later. You can hit that Save Last Shot button, and it will automatically save to the sim computer where it can be uploaded directly to your locker app. Moving to the next section of scoring, you have the ability to add and remove strokes based on any kind of situation. I know for me, if we're wagering and we want to have a good time and compete, if somebody whiffs a shot standing over the ball, we're going to add a stroke to that person's score. If there's a discrepancy about something or maybe a misregistered shot, you can then remove a stroke as well. Let's say you get into one of those pop bunkers at St. Andrews that we had mentioned earlier. You can go ahead and take an unplayable lie from that bunker, move it out, drop it, and move on with your day. If you don't have hole concessions set up as far as double par, triple bogey, 10 strokes, whatever it might be, and you've just had enough after being stuck in that bunker, hit concede hole. It'll pick you up and move you on from there. This also is the area where you can go ahead and select a mulligan, or if you hit it to 6.1 feet and it doesn't give you the gimme and your buddies are really nice, you can go ahead and hit that one stroke gimme, and it'll go ahead and just pick it up and give you that stroke and move on. You'll also have the ability to change the gimme range, but note that it will only change the gimme range by player. So if I change it from 3 to 6 feet, each player in that group would also need to change from 3 to 6 feet. From there, we have the game settings. So one important one is going to be, you can save your round. So if you have to leave and you only got through 13 of the 18 holes, you can go ahead and save that round. It'll save right to the main menu of the simulator, and you can pick it up from the exact spot that you left off the next day, a week later, a year later, whatever it might be. Practice mode will allow you to go through and take practice shots on any of the shots on the course. So if you want to practice going for the green over water or trying to hit a new pitch shot or bunker shot, you can enable practice mode, and it will allow you to take as many shots as you want without counting strokes until you turn it off and take the actual counted stroke shot. Continuous play will allow each player individually to play the entire hole before moving on to the next player in the group. This is good for socialization areas and allows people to sit back and talk with their friends, eat some food, have a drink, whatever it might be, while letting one person play fully through the hole and then rotate through it from there. And then the bottom options, you'll have the ability to toggle the settings for auto continue, which we have in place already, shot camera, and shot counter. Again, with auto continue, you'll want to ensure that if you change your auto continue and want everybody else's to be the same length, each individual player should change that auto continue as well. From there, the main important item that you want to know is going to be the aiming, like we had mentioned before, just knowing that you can change the direction of where you're looking to hit your shot. And then the grid settings is going to be set based on either the current shot or the member. Generally, if everything is in place like it's supposed to be from those default settings we set up in the sim setup area, you'll be able to select the grid type and the grid setting. Basically, again, the grid type is either going to be that spectrum heat map, or it's going to be the line grid that shows the balls that give you the direction of the undulation and breaks on the green. From there, the last thing that I will bring up is all of the information that you need to know about your current hole, current shot, and current, conditions are going to be found in that bottom right corner, where you'll see the current player, current score, current hole, current shot on that hole, the full total yardage of the hole from the back tees, or from the current tee all the way to the flag, and the elevation change. So the elevation change is important because it is based on where the ball currently sits compared to where the flag currently sits. So that 85.09 feet downhill is not pointing to the direction of the landing area in the fairway. As you can see, hovering over about 290 yards, it's about 37 feet downhill. But going all the way up to the flag, you'll see that it's actually about 85 feet downhill from where the ball currently is to that flag. That is about it for the settings and customizations for the sim setup, practice range area, and round play area. If there's any questions, please do not hesitate to ask us. And if you need any training on any of the items that we've covered, please reach out to your customer success manager, and we can set up a meeting to get time on the calendar for you. Thank you very much. Have a great day.